Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SMITE, and it looks like they've added yet another new god. It is now the 13th of March. The servers have come up not too long ago, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love, has been added to the game. Probably the first true support character, and I say that with thinking about Hell, because Hell's a pretty good support character, but Hell does pretty good damage as well. Aphrodite does not do very good damage. She's purely support, so this is going to be interesting. This is my first match with her. Let's see if it's any good. You can see she's a mage. She is a ranged fighter. Well, let's look at what her passive is. Loving Embrace. Gaining Aphrodite's favor is a blessing, in that 30% of all mana gained by Aphrodite is granted to her soulmate. Soulmates, how does that work? Well, that's tied into her first ability, which I'm surprised it did not give me that first. The Kiss is honestly the first ability that's usually recommended. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. Are they going to... How is this going to split up? This will be interesting because I want to support... I could support with on her. I guess that's what we're doing. Okay. Alright, well, let's find out. The Kiss, you blow a kiss to an ally god, and it makes them your soulmate. It grants you and that god movement speed, and if it hits an enemy god, they're stunned. If you hit an enemy god, not only are they stunned, but your soulmate gets jealous, and they deal additional damage. So that ability really should be the first thing you get. So unfortunately I'm using the default auto leveling of skills and items. As you can see here, it starts me off with the Vampiric Shroud, so we're going to get some health and mana. The ability they started me off with is Back Off. You're agitated by attention. Aphrodite commands enemies to get away from her, doing 90 magical damage, knocking them back. If she has a soulmate, the damage is done from the soulmate's location rather than Aphrodite's location. That's a rather interesting ability. So you basically have this nice AoE effect that you can do, but if you're attached to a soulmate, it does it from them instead of your home location. She's really great for, well, like I said, she's support, so she's really great for doing that, honestly. She's there. There's a decent knockback. It's not a huge knockback from what I can tell. Go ahead and... Okay, great. It's giving me the Kiss, so let's do that. There we go. On her is now my soulmate. He now moves faster, I move faster, and my mana regeneration is shared with him. As you can see here, if I use my second ability, rather than originating from me, it originates from on her. So if he needs some support, if he needs to knock an enemy away, I can help him with that. Or maybe I can just help him do some additional damage. Oh, backing off a bit. Now, if I were to hit Artemis with my Kiss, then it would stun her. On her would do additional damage. And that's a pretty nasty combo, quite honestly. Alright, let's... Oh, can't quite push on here. So, the third ability we get, it's some doves. I'll be looking at that here in just... one moment. Let's actually just go ahead and throw it out there for now so you can see it. It's a line ability. It does damage over time. Let's just bring it up here. A flock of doves that fly forward in an area in front of her. They damage all enemies in the path. It does 10 damage every half a second for 3 seconds, and you and your soulmate are both healed during the duration. So the thing that Aphrodite does really well is sustain. She may not be able to do a lot of damage, but she can sustain a lane very well because she, like Hell, or even Guan Yu, can heal just by doing that. There we go. You see we're getting a little bit of health back, and we can just absolutely sustain this lane in the right. Oh, there's Transgressor's Fate. Let's go ahead and pull back away from it. Oh, she got her ultimate. I was not... should have noticed that she was, Oh, don't let me die here, buddy. You know what? I am not afraid to use my boots. Alright, so... yeah. he's going to pull away, and actually that's a pretty good thing because you can see here as he pulls away, the line breaks. I'll eventually have to do it. So as you can see, the kiss has a cooldown of 16 seconds. And the good thing is... back off, girl. The good thing about the kiss is that you can soulmate with anybody. If I had Artemis here, or Neith, or any other female god, I could use kiss and I will have an attachment to them. I'll have the movement speed, I will have the mana share, and the kiss has no cooldown if you use it on an allied god. So if you need to, you can very quickly switch who your soulmate is in a pinch and not lose the cooldown. Let me just go ahead and use that ability there. You can see it just originated from him. Of course, he leaped at the time, so I'm not sure how effective that was. So, her ultimate. Well, this one's rather interesting. Undying Love. Aphrodite pledges Undying Love to herself and her soulmate. While it's active, her and her soulmate are invulnerable to all damage. Right now it's 0.8 seconds. It will go all the way up to 2 seconds. So I am truly a support character, and that's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to rely on her here for pretty much most of the damage. And so hopefully if he could use his ultimate, I can push on her and possibly stun her. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and, well, unfortunately she was immune. Not much I can do. She is 3 levels above us. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, quite honestly. Apparently our Artemis that we're fighting is pretty good. Well, let's see. Wow, level 8 compared to... alright. It's fine. She pushed me out of lane a couple of times. Pushed me back a bit, so she definitely had the advantage there of gaining some XP from the creep, but that's okay. On her, unfortunately, is dead, and she's going to give me a hard time. I'm purely support. I can't really do much on my own. I probably could have used the ultimate, but maybe missing right. But that's kind of a tough call, especially considering it's less than a second at this point. Getting that maxed is going to be very important. Getting that up to 2 seconds is going to be vital. So it looks like the default build has you leveling up back off first, and that's kind of interesting. I probably would have... Well, I would have started with Kiss so that you had the speed. Let's pull away. You are my soulmate. Alright. There we go. Now the thing about the doves I've noticed is they don't really do a lot of damage. See, you can see that's on her's buff when I used the kiss. So there we can see we're getting a little bit of healing. Uh-oh, we got a team fight going on here. Amir's walked into our lane. Amir should be a threat though, he's 4. It's Artemis that I'm more concerned about, although that's freeze will suck if he does. Alright. Alright, let's just... Oh, wow. Okay. This isn't going well. This is not going well at all. I don't have a soulmate now, so I don't have my movement speed. let's go ahead and pull back. So the item they're starting me off with is the Boots of Celerity, and that's really not a bad idea. It gives me cooldown reduction and it gives me speed. Being a pure support character, I really could use that burst of speed, and the cooldown reduction will really help me keep the enemies stunned as much as possible. Alright, let's give Vamana my soulmate buff here. Ooh, I just got nailed with that. Did a little bit of damage with the Vamana there. Unfortunately... There we go. Oh, there we go! That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Vamana walked right up to him, and I was able to pull off the back off, and it just gave enough damage to take him out. Oh, he's immune to that. Let's hit him with the back off. Use the doves so that my Vamana will be healed by my ability, the doves. There we go. Kind of try and push in on him. We have additional movement speed. Okay, Vamana's going to leave, so I'm going to give this to Ra. And let's go ahead and stun her so that she can do more damage. There we go. Excellent. That worked out. Now everybody else is retreating, so you know what? I'm not going to be able to do much here. I don't want to use my items, so let's just try and kill off the lane a little bit here. So as you can see, Aphrodite is going to be one of those characters that's going to really take some coordination to use. Let's give me a little bit of healing here. You really have to know your gods, your team, and your enemy team, I think, to really make the use out of her. Using Aphrodite in a game like this, where I really don't know my group, I don't know the enemy group. Oh, I missed. Thank you. But she definitely has some really nice support capabilities. Uh-oh. Get out of there. Shoot, let's... Come on, give you some movement speed. You know what? Oh, I missed. Okay. I probably should pull out of this lane, because, you know, the right lane has been without me for a while. And unfortunately, it looks like Anher died. So, yeah, this isn't good. And, well, our team's actually doing pretty good, actually, from the looks of it. We took a few more of them down than they did us. We're 15 and 6. Yeah, I'm going to have to get used to her. I kind of like the idea of Aphrodite. I just, I think that it would be most beneficial if I could say to my teammate, hey, I'm about to stun this guy, you know, are you ready to push? Things like that. So definitely with a group would be nice. So there we go. Vamana now has some movement speed, and of course is getting a little bit more mana back because of me. Wow, a level 3 Loki. Oh, was he the guy that was AFK? That's awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and hit that tower. Oh, he's going after Loki. There's the back off, and you can see that it hit Loki, did quite a bit of damage. Uh-oh. Back off, you. Unfortunately... Uh-oh, Vamana running through the jungle. Come on.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Be right back. Your middle tower is under attack.
Got her.
Be right back.
So, hopefully I was able to help Vamana escape. Oh, yep, I was. Great. I'm going to go ahead and... apparently not.
You have been slain.
That's okay. You know, something I'm noticing... Maybe I didn't notice it before. I'm noticing the music more in the background. I don't remember it being as dramatic, and I don't remember that in the patch notes. This patch didn't actually change a lot of major features that I could really go over. There's been a few changes to the guides, which is nice to see. The character builder still isn't fully working to where you can save builds, but there are character guides and videos still up, although the videos they have are still outdated from quite a while ago in the beta. Of course, the game is constantly changing, so it's understandable.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy.
So they're giving me the Boots of Celerity and the Void Stone for magical power and protection, and I can reduce the protection of enemies within 55 yards. So the default build, not too bad. Very much support
An ally has been slain.
reducing the enemy's magical protections while increasing her allies' movement speed. Okay, well, there's no one else around. Let's go ahead and make Ra our soulmate. And I can either attack through him, we can heal. There's Cupid right there.
Slain.
Oh, I missed. Oh, really? Artemis? Okay, I gave him a little bit of invulnerability. Oh, I kind of missed with that one. Ra was close to her that I thought that back off was going to work, but it didn't. There's a stun on Cupid that allowed the Celestial Beam to go through. Oh, he dashed through Ra, and I almost got back off to work on him. Alright, there we go. Back off right on Cupid. Looks like Emir is giving chase. That's quite alright. I'm going to go ahead and hit him as I run, and then hit him with that. And that should be good. Alright, Vamana is back. I cannot... There we go.
An enemy has
Cannot make him my soulmate because I lack the energy.
out of mana.
But we were able to take him out together. He was underleveled, so that worked to our favor.
Your team is
So here you go. This is probably the one thing that Aphrodite is really good for. This default build, I might have picked this sooner because of how her passive works. The Bracer of Replenishment being chosen as part of the default equipment makes perfect sense for Aphrodite's kit. HP 5, mana MP5, and she gives an aura that gives HP and MP5. So what does that do? Well, I'm getting the aura of HP and MP5, right? So my allies are already getting that. But because my soulmate shares 30% of my mana regen, not only are they getting mana regen
ally has been
from the replenishment bracers, but they are getting
slain.
an additional 30% of what I'm getting from the bracer. So that is honestly really powerful in the hands of Aphrodite. So hold on, let me try and... Come on, Vamana. There we go. Now you have movement speed. And I did not lose a cooldown, so we're going to help out here. There we go. Whoops, I'm losing the... There it goes. I just lost the... Lost my soulmate. So let's give it to Ra. Again, no cooldown loss. You know, I need to double check if it actually takes mana if it's hitting a soulmate, because it's so integral to her abilities. But passive. Oh, I missed. That's bad. Got him with the doves, though. Alright, Vamana, you will remain my soulmate here. Poor Ra. Alright, let's go ahead and... oh, no, they're nearly dead. I won't use that. It's a waste. Alright, so if he gets close to Emir... Ah. I missed. I need to get better with that, because that Kiss is an amazing ability. The ability to stun an enemy on pretty much command. Uh-oh. Okay, I got her with the back off. I'm going to hit her with a stun. There it is. And additional damage from Vamana. Excellent. That worked out perfectly. Emir is giving chase, but it looks like Vamana wants to move into the left lane, so I'll go ahead and follow him because I don't want to lose the link with the soulmate. Doves out. There we go. So even if I miss, I still do healing to myself and my soulmate. So let's get a stun on Emir, or miss. Okay, missing works too. Boom! And you just saw there, that was a back off under Emir to do a whole bunch of damage and take him out. The enemy team has decided to surrender. So I'm not going to be able to show too much more with this kit. I honestly think that was a decent game to show off some of the capabilities, because I had some really good opportunities there to just hit them with the back off ability. So she doesn't do a lot on her own, but that back off ability actually does hit very hard. So if you can use that with a soulmate, probably maybe an assassin type or a brawler, because they can get into the thick of it, right? Put it on a Wukong, a Hercules, someone like that, and they can run in faster because they've got the movement speed, and then you can use the back off for the massive damage. You don't want to get in there in the thick of it yourself. You're a mage. You're weak on defense, so you want to give it to someone that can. Which means that typically another mage may not be your choice for soulmate. Although it can work. You saw there with Raw, I was able to make him the soulmate, so we had a little bit more movement speed, and I was able to give him mana. So you have different strategies that you can use with it. Sharing mana with other mages, giving your melee characters additional speed to close the gap, and of course using back off to make sure that they, well, back off. The idea of using the Bracer of Replenishment, I think, is a great one for Aphrodite. And honestly, let's take a look at the rest. Alright, if we look at the character builder for Aphrodite here, we'll see that after the Bracer of Replenishment, she gets the Midgardian Mail. I can understand that, honestly. That makes a lot of sense, because she, being support, wants to get away if a melee character is being aggressive to her. So the Midgardian Mail will slow the enemy, allowing her to get away faster, and if she's got a soulmate, that's even better, because now she can run even faster with the Kiss special ability. Lastly, much like any mage, the Rod of Tahuti. Okay, that makes sense. That's not a bad default kit. Cooldown reduction, movement speed, very worthy of a support character. And that's pretty much what she is. And it's kind of nice to see that. There's so many characters that fill all the other roles. There's not really a lot of just purely support characters. There are some, but they also double with doing a lot of damage. And as you can see here, since I'm in it now, you can see the guides section has been changed up once again. The character builder, they've got video tutorials, god guides. Honestly, a lot of it's not fully implemented. If you go to the tutorials, the beginner and intermediate, that's kind of outdated. The god guides are nothing but the reveal videos that are out there on YouTube, but they're actually not that bad because you can learn a lot from those. And of course, the community videos is the plays of the week, and you have some featured community websites. So that's looking pretty good. Now, they did do a redesign on the tooltips for your gods. You'll notice that there are no longer bars that represent magical, physical, and tank or defense. You'll notice that it pretty much just gives you a rundown of the characters now. So here for Ao Kuang, you can see it says, hey, he's ranged magical. He plays the role of a mage. He has high area damage. He can push a lane, which is true. His tornado really helps him push. And his cons are low defense. If we were to go to Anubis, you can see ranged magical mage, high area damage, low defense. Let's take a look at one of the newer guys, Poseidon here. He's ranged magical, role of mage, high area damage, and again, low defense. So it's kind of a nice at-a-glance, just stats on what they're good at. I like the fact that they're listing pros and they're listing cons. So, for example, here, Bastet, and this is the other thing, they've added the carry status. So you can now see what gods are considered carry at a glance if you're new. I like that because in Smite, I was kind of having a hard time really thinking of which ones were and weren't carry, because some of them seem like they are, and some are but seem like they aren't. But you can definitely see what they consider carry. So you know that if you see that and it helps, especially like for me, being new to this whole thing, knowing what they consider carry will help me to decide how I can play that god if I haven't played them before. So you can see that Bastet, carry, assassin, high single target damage. She has low crowd control though, and low defense. As opposed to Wukong, you'll notice he doesn't have the low crowd control on him because his ultimate does carry some crowd control capabilities on it. It's kind of nice, although I think it was easier to gauge what a god could do with the bars, really, because that was a very visual thing, very at a glance type of thing. But this is probably the most truthful measure you're going to get, because even though you saw a character with high defense didn't necessarily mean he was a tank. For example, Hercules fulfilled that kind of a role. He was really a major brawler. Let's kind of pull Hercules up here, and you can see here he's even been given the role of bruiser, high single target damage, high sustain, but it says low defense, which is kind of odd because in the previous version it showed a high defensive rank on him because he's got the high survivability. I think the role of bruiser is supposed to dictate that. He's not an assassin, so he's not the highest single target damage, but he's not a tank, so he's not the going to take a ton of damage. He's somewhere in the middle, which is the new role, bruiser, which makes a lot of sense for him. And so that will probably be easier to understand for people coming in, because if you're new and you looked at Hercules and you saw that huge defensive bar, then you'd probably think, oh, let's build him like a tank. I certainly thought at first that he was. Then I kind of looked at his abilities and realized what he could do. So there you go. That is the new patch with Aphrodite. Not much else to talk about regarding the patch, but I do like her so far, and I'd like to take her out for a few more spins just to get a feel for her. I'm going to have to think long and hard about what kind of a build I'd want to make for her. Obviously, the replenishment thing is something that I would like to explore further. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm KageKaze once again with SMITE, and I'll see you next time.